Isang pinagpalang araw sa inyong lahat. Tayo po'y magninilay sa salita ng Diyos. Ang pinagmumulan ng awa at tawa ng ating buhay ang salitawa. We are now in the 20th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Mga kapatid, huwag po nating kakalimutang magdasal at magsimba. Alam po natin ang katotohanan, mga kapatid, at sa palagay ko lahat po tayo ay naniniwala na hindi ang lahat ng bagay ay mabibili ng pera. Hindi po kayang bilhin ng pera ang dignidad at dangal natin. Hindi po kayang bilhin ng pera ang tunay na kaligayahan. We all long for happiness, for meaning in life, and money can never buy authentic happiness and meaning to our life. To know the essentials of this world, to know what really matters in this world, we need to have wisdom. We need wisdom to know the things that are essential, to know the things that would bring us to heaven. Our readings this Sunday direct our attention to the gift of wisdom. In our first reading this Sunday from the Book of Wisdom, King Solomon prayed and asked the Lord for wisdom. He did not ask the Lord for power, for wealth, for the throne, for military forces. But King Solomon asked the Lord for wisdom that would allow him to lead people, for the gift of wisdom so that he can lead people in accordance to the will of God. And so our first reading today, King Solomon praises the wisdom over gold, silver, over the throne, over power, over military forces. Kaya dito, si Haring Solomon ay nagpupuri sa Diyos sapagkat ipinagkaloob sa kanya ang karunungan para kanyang magabayan at kanyang may lead ang kanyang tao ayon sa kagustuhan ng Diyos. In our second reading from the letter to the Hebrews, this passage tells us where can we get wisdom. And here it tells us that the Word of God is living and effective, sharper than any two-edged sword. Ibig sabihin nito, kung nais natin ng karunungan, binabalik sa atin yung kahalagahan na makinig sa salita ng Diyos. We gain wisdom from the Word of God. And the Word of God brings us to the reality that material things are temporary, na hindi natin madadala ang mga bagay dito sa mundong ito sa kabilang buhay. Pinapaalala sa atin ng salita ng Diyos na paghandaan natin ang tunay na yaman sa kaharian ng Diyos. Ang salita ng Diyos ay pagpapaalala sa atin na ang mga material na bagay ay kukupas, mauubos, maglalaho. And so, the Word of God provides us the wisdom that we need to know that things in this world are but temporary, and it provides us the wisdom to know that there are better things, real treasures that we need to prepare, that we need to possess so that we can reach our final destination, which is heaven. In our gospel reading today, we have this beautiful encounter between the Lord and a rich young man. Imagine a very rich, young, educated, powerful, and popular man. In the Gospel of St. Luke, he was called a ruler, but commonly he is called a rich young man. At itong lalaki na para bang nasa kanya ng lahat, kasikatan, kayamanan, kapangyarihan, edukasyon, lumapit sa Diyos. At probably, he was a good man because in our gospel reading today, we heard that from his very young age, he already faithfully followed the commandments of the Lord. But then, despite of this seemingly having everything, the Lord told him, there is one thing lacking from you. And Jesus said to him, go and sell what you have and give the money to the poor. And our gospel tells us that this young rich man went home sad because he had so many possessions. Surprisingly, who among us here who would have a lot of possessions and would go sad? I think nobody. We would be happy. We would rejoice. Pero sa ating ebanghelyo ngayon, after the encounter of this rich young man with the Lord, he went home sad. Kahit na marami siyang ari-arian. Bakit po? Kasi hindi niya kayang bitawan ang mga ito. Mga kapatid, hindi naman po masama ang maging mayaman. Ang masama ay kapag gawin nating Diyos-Diyosa ng ating kayamanan. And so, our gospel reading today reminds us that it is really wisdom to acknowledge that everything in this world are temporary or is temporary. It is wisdom to know that we are not owners. We are just stewards of everything that we have in this world. Kaya ang paalala sa atin ay matuto tayong ibahagi kung ano man yung ipinagkatiwala ng Diyos sa atin. Ito yung hindi kayang i-give up at gawin ng rich young man. Ang bitawan yung napakarami niyang material na ari-arian. You know, brothers and sisters, we are being reminded and inspired by this beautiful passage in our gospel that we have been blessed by the Lord. And hopefully, whatever we have received from Him, we would use them to build our mansion in heaven. Use whatever God has entrusted to us in helping the needy, the poor, and the powerless. Heaven doesn't start when we die. Heaven begins here on earth. And we begin making heaven here on earth present by using all the blessings that we have received in helping other people. As we use these blessings, we are actually building our mansion in heaven. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na ito, huwag kalimutang mag-like, i-share at mag-subscribe sa Salitawa Facebook page and YouTube channel. Pulisang pinagpalang araw sa inyong lahat.